Week 13, you need some tight end sleepers. Here's a few guys I think I can help you. The first guy is Zach Ertz of the Philadelphia Eagles. Ertz, he's going to come off injury finally. He's been out since week 7, and to be honest, Ertz, he hasn't had a great season this year, even when he was healthy. But I still think Ertz, he could have a good game in this one. I know they said they're going to limit his snaps and stuff, and I know Dallas Goedert's there, but if Ertz could get hot and get open in this game, the Eagles, they could use all the help they can on offense. And Ertz, he has a pretty decent matchup versus the Green Bay Packers. You know the Eagles are going to be struggling in this ball game and probably down early and often in the ball game. So I think Zach Ertz, he could have a decent fantasy game, and he's a guy I definitely have as a sleeper. He was ready now for 2 weeks, but they held him back for a couple weeks into practice. So I think Ertz, he could find the end zone in this one, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does 30 or 40 yards and a touchdown. The next guy is Jordan Reed of the San Francisco 49ers. Reed last week, he didn't have a great game versus the Los Angeles Rams, but this week I think he'll have a decent game versus the Buffalo Bills. He's available in about 80-85% of leagues. A lot of owners dropped him after that bad game, but Reed, he's got talent. George Kittle, he's not going to come back. And now with Deebo Samuel and Ayuk back, I think it opens up the middle of the field for Jordan Reed. And it wouldn't surprise me to see him have a bounce back in a good game where he could get 10 to 12 fantasy points in PPR leagues. So Jordan Reed, I got him as a sleeper. He's still not in my top 15 this week, but I think he could have a solid ball game, and it wouldn't surprise me to see him have a good game. And the third and final tight end I have a sleeper this week is Kyle Rudolph of the Minnesota Vikings. He's a guy I said to go out there and pick up on the waiver wire video this week. And Rudolph, it looks like he's going to get the start and the majority of the snaps. Irv Smith Jr., he hasn't practiced or barely practiced this week. Rudolph, he looked good last week in that come-from-behind victory for Minnesota. And this offense, they're clicking. They're winning ball games. They've won 4 out of 5 now. And it's an amazing matchup versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, where teams, they go up and down the field and score a lot of fantasy points, their players, and touchdowns. So I think Kyle Rudolph, he could have another good ball game like he did last week, where he had 13 fantasy points in PPR leagues. So that's 3 tight ends I have as sleepers here heading into Week 13.